That day, Abhilasha had an appointment at the parlor. Everything was very exciting for her as a newlywed. But now all this began to feel like a kind of punishment for her. Because she had always wanted something like this, but now both her senses were irritated by this. Abhilasha was 27 years old when she got married. She had beautiful eyes, a slightly high nose, and pink lips that made her stand out. Her beautiful figure, fair complexion, and medium height made her a unique person. This unique beauty of hers attracted Shiva. Abhilasha belonged to a middle class family. Her elder sister used to bow down respectfully. Since her dark beauty was different from his, she had developed a slightly shy nature. It must be said that her beautiful eyes were the reason why she tied Shiva up in the bride's test. But after 5 years of marriage, Abhilasha did not understand whether Shiva's parents were happy or sad about this relationship that their son liked. She did not know whether Shiva had also maintained the same happiness after marriage. As the parlor's hand moved over her face, she closed her eyes and slipped into the past. Meeting Shiva at some wedding house, getting to know him, becoming friends, everything that happened after the wedding with him became like a dream. All her sisters, brothers, and friends were jealous of seeing such a rich groom agreeing to a simple marriage arranged by his family without any dowry or favors. The jewelry, clothes, gifts given to her by the husband's family at the wedding house, the rich bungalow, the car, the servants, they had never imagined such a thing in their dreams. The silk saris she changed every hour at the wedding, the splendor of the reception had stunned everyone. When she climbed the stage of the evening reception, wearing diamond jewelry and holding the groom's hand, her family could not believe their eyes. Shiva had managed everything without spending a single penny on them. All the elders in his family had nodded in agreement with his son's choice. Since he was now handling the entire business alone, Shiva's father had spared no expense and had spent lavishly on the wedding of his only son. When she left home and entered her husband's magnificent bungalow, her heart was beating fast. All the rituals were completed in a hurry, and everyone relaxed a little. Then her mother in law came to her room, gave her an expensive transparent nightie, and said, "Today is your first night. I wish you a happy night," and kissed her forehead. Abhilasha, who accepted it at her feet, went down to the ground with embarrassment. She waited for her husband with a silver cup of thick, creamy saffron milk. After a while, Shiva came in, closed the door, hugged her, and gently taught her a lesson in love. He told her the customs of the house, the way she should behave, the order she should follow, and the high finesse in her dress. In a week, she gradually gave up her old habits and became the rich daughter in law that the house needed. A month later, when she returned home, her family had changed so much that they could not recognize her. They were shocked to see her transformation. They thought she had jumped from the ground to the sky. But for how long that flight was, she did not know. When she returned home, Shiva had reserved 2 tickets for the world tour. She had no idea how 2 months and 2 days had passed. For the first time, Abhilasha had to taste foreign liquor at foreign parties. Obeying etiquette, she had to gulp it down. Thus began her party drinks, which soon became her addiction to alcohol. The first time she gulped down vodka, she spent half an hour laughing. After she returned from the tour, her routine changed completely. Her wardrobe was now full of sophisticated dresses. To become a daughter in law worthy of a modern mother in law, she had to learn swimming, car driving, horse riding, ladies' club membership, golf club, country club, and everything. When her birthday came, her husband, without asking, gave her a new car worth rupees 10 lakhs. When she drove it herself, gave her parents a lot of gifts and received their blessings, tears of joy filled their eyes. Now Abhilasha had completely changed. She became a free bird, free roaming around as she pleased. Without any specific goal in life, having fun was her life. Going to parties was her life. She had somehow changed into what she was. Her parents were very happy to see their daughter's fortune. They were happy that the daughter of a poor person like them had become a prominent person in society as the daughter in law of such a rich man. They had put their finger on their nose when they saw the freedom their daughter had got. Shiva's parents respected their only daughter and this daughter in law equally without making any distinction between them. But for Abhilasha, freedom is the fundamental right of everyone. And why should anyone else give it to her? She knew that she was free in the name of modernity. She was free to spend money like water. She had the freedom to be bound by conditions and rules. But mentally she was free. Maybe not. She smiled remembering this. By then her facial was over. On the way home she felt like eating pani puri. But since the dietitian had prescribed a strict diet for 2 weeks, she was not allowed to touch it. When she got home, the cook served a tasteless diet meal on the dining table. Reluctantly, she ate 2 dry rotis, dal, and salad and went to her room to rest and sleep comfortably. In the evening, she had to go to a ladies' club with her mother in law. For that, she had to write a speech for her mother in law. By the time she finished all that, it was 5 p.m. Her head felt heavy and she felt like drinking masala tea. But in the name of diet, she couldn't eat whatever she wanted. She went to the kitchen to ask for tea. The cook there said, "Beetroot and carrot juice is ready, madam," and handed her 2 glasses. She drank it without any desire and went to her room to get ready for the evening function. When she came downstairs wearing a light blue Mysore silk saree, light makeup, and stylishly carrying a handbag, her mother in law was also ready with double the makeup. She gave her mother in law a speech she had written and explained it briefly. Is her freedom important to a woman or the responsibility of the family? In it, she had filled her mother in law with some ideal words as if she were a successful orator, leaving aside what was on her mind, just to get applause. When her mother in law was reading the speech, there was a shower of applause. She did not feel like doing anything. She remembered the incident when they returned from their honeymoon. For some reason, Abhilasha felt that her health was not good. Shiva was in a state of love. Seeing Abhilasha's discomfort, Shiva took her to his lady doctor, Dr. Pooja, his high school classmate. She examined Abhilasha thoroughly and said, "Congratulations, a little baby is coming to your house." While Abhilasha was overjoyed, Shiva was not at all happy. "Why are you not taking your tablets properly?" Sometimes, when you come back after a party, you must have forgotten that intoxication. How can you be so irresponsible? Shiva was furious. Abhilasha reasoned that Shiva was afraid of the new responsibility. She too did not want motherhood so soon. But what was the result of worrying about what had happened? When he got home, Shiva told his mother. She, a modern thinker, was furious. For these middle class girls, marriage is a way to have children. Should they have a baby by the end of the year? She said. Hey, who wants this responsibility so soon? Let 2-3 years pass, then there will be a family, children for now. I want both of us to be free birds. Whatever happened without knowing, let it go, said Shiva's mother. After that incident, he realized that the remote control of his flight to freedom was not in his hands. Without asking her opinion, she was aborted the next day. Her body did not feel any pain due to anesthesia, but who could she tell about the pain in her heart? How could she pretend to be asleep? Every time she was painted like a caged parrot. But no one in the house asked the parrot if it wanted the paint or not. She was a prisoner of modern house arrest. But to the outside world, this parrot with modern paint looked happy. Who could get all these comforts at her mother-in-law's house? Tours whenever she wanted, constant car rides, rest without shaking after drinking water, a slave for each hand and foot, but the desires of her mind, no one would listen to them. After many days, she felt like going home. When she left with a simple printed silk saree, four bangles in her hand, and light makeup, her father-in-law came across her smoking a cigar. What is this? You are going home, right? Is the daughter-in-law of the Rao Bahadur dynasty going to be so extravagant? Why should she go without a diamond? What must he think of our family? When Abhilasha turned to her husband as if she did not understand, he said, "You are going to your hometown not as his daughter but as the daughter in law of this house. Daddy asked you to go a little more grandly and grandly. Come on, today when I finish my client meeting, I have to come from the mall. There was a new jewelry and silk fair there. Wear this grand Banaras saree, this complete pearl set, and go," he said, giving her a very expensive silk saree and jewelry set. She did not need this over decoration, but they had both painted the parrot's wings with this color today. Now the parrot's only job was to fly without feet. Her mind was shattered, thinking that this saree and jewelry were a barrier of great prestige between her and her hometown. Every time they saw the richness of her saree and jewelry, it was hot oil for her. This time, when she came to her hometown, she parked the car outside the building and went inside with a stomping foot. "What the hell, Abhilasha has come!" her mother shouted from the kitchen. Her mind was filled with thoughts and said, "How did Amma recognize me from the inside without seeing me? Cannot the womb understand that much? I can tell by the sound of your footsteps. I came here today feeling so hot. Who are you angry with?" The mother who was cooking turned to her daughter with pride. She was dressed like a goddess who had come down to earth. Without noticing, she washed her hands in the kitchen sink, mixed oil and salt into the hot rice that her mother had cooked, and while she was about to eat 2 bites of the spicy food, her head started to shake due to her habit. Immediately, she pulled out a stool that was there and made her sit down, saying, "Slowly, where is the food running away? I think my son-in-law has already remembered you. Look, eat slowly." She patted her head and rubbed her back. Tears immediately flowed from her eyes at the lack of such affection. "Slowly, the water in your hand is spilling over the saree," said the mother. She quickly cleared the plate and stood up. "Auntie, if she walks, you will be fine," said her sister. "I am not here to do the rest of the work," added her sister. It was a rare Sunday that all the sisters came home together. Abhilasha, without bothering much, gave her the foreign toys she had brought for her children. The children happily thanked their aunt and went off to play. Then she made her mother, sister, and younger sister sit down, applied saffron, and gifted them all saris. She gave her father a shawl and a walking stick. Her sister said, "Abhilasha, don't bring such expensive toys. If these things break, we don't have enough money to get them repaired." When she said, "Let me go," then I brought something else. Abhilasha laughed and changed the subject. From there, the conversation flowed to her glory, her in-laws' house, and her praise of her wealth. But only she knew how artificial this colorful disguise was. How could she tell herself that this flight of her wealth was limited to only one boundary? That evening, when everyone had come, Amma made Bombay bonda and ginger chutney. She devoured it like a little child. How contented was mother's life. After traveling so much around the world, what's the point of tasting foreign cuisine? Nothing compares to Amma's cooking, she said with a full heart. The mother happily hugged her daughter. That night she decided to stay there. As she finished dinner, she received a call from her husband. Her uncle had come from Mumbai and wanted to see them together as he could not come to the wedding. "Come quickly," he said. She made an excuse that she could not drive at night. Shiva hung up the phone saying that it was okay, the driver Shamu would be there right away. Shamu arrived in the cab in 15 minutes. He had enough gifts, sweets, fruits and vegetables for her family. Her family was overjoyed to see so many gifts together. But no one could see the sad face of Abhilasha, who was about to leave without a plan because she could not be at home. She was immersed in their excitement. Smiling artificially, applying saffron on her mother's face, bowing to her mother and father, she had to get into the car without a plan. As she was crossing the threshold, her mother's heart recognized that her daughter's face had turned pale. But when her in-laws had sent a driver, how could they stop her from going? Helplessness gripped the mother. She knew that Shiva would not let her stay in the middle-class home for some reason. When she reached home, her in laws came to meet her and said, "Look, Shiva's cousin is waiting for you," and she went straight to him and took his blessings. Appreciating the courtesy and kindness of her brother in law, he blessed her with as many gifts as he wanted. Her sister in law and her husband performed Aarti together and took a break. That night, as she was about to raise another peg with her husband, she picked up a bottle and drank heavily as if seeking revenge on someone. Shiva, who was engrossed in his laptop, was still engaged in business talks with a client at 11 p.m. She had become accustomed to drinking like that, drowning in her own world. There was no one to disturb her there. She did not know why she hated this wealth. It was past 9 o'clock when she woke up very late due to intoxication. Shiva, who was ready to leave for the office, asked, "If you can't digest, why do you drink so much? You have to remain polite. What will happen if you get drunk?" She started laughing hysterically. By increasing her drinking every day, she created a void within herself. She started crying herself under the pretext of taking revenge against this golden cage of wealth. Later, she felt that she should also get directly involved in business. Being a graduate, she was aware of modern business. When she told this to her husband, he felt proud. He invited her to come to the office every day to take care of the business. A department was opened for her and she was made its head. Her only job was to control her subordinates. It seemed that the check would pass only if Shiva's father signed it. Her married life was like a journey through the desert. Everywhere was full of mirages. Did that quench anyone's thirst? After running around from home to office for a year, she got bored with it and left. Years passed and her fifth wedding anniversary ended. She lost interest in everything. As usual, she started getting ready for another cocktail party. She was looking beautiful in a red off shoulder gown and ruby diamond jewelry. That party was for Shiva's cousin's wedding. Everyone was dancing in a frenzy to the music of the reception. Abhilasha, who had raised two pegs, also got ready to dance. Holding Shiva tightly, she said while dancing, "Shiva, I feel like forgetting myself and flying away somewhere. Don't make me a bird in a golden cage like this. I am a very ordinary girl. Don't make me special with the makeup of wealth." Before Shiva could answer, she was intoxicated and started singing loudly, saying, "Come on, I'll sing to your height." All the guests there started looking at her. A big scene was created there. Shiva's prestige had plummeted. He dragged her away, pushed her into the back seat of the car, drove her home at high speed. He could not sleep that night. He could not understand why a girl from a cultured, decent family had gone like this because of something she had done wrong. She had been singing and singing what she wanted. The next morning, after she woke up, Shiva asked, "Everyone dies for such a rich life. What is it that you are missing?" She did not answer anything and just started at the emptiness outside the window. She did not want him to realize her real situation. That evening, she and her mother in law went to give a speech to another women's society. Always going around the town for club social service, this had become her daily routine. She could not understand why she did not stay interested in anything even though she had everything. In the meantime, she saw an advertisement in a private school for a high school Kannada teacher. Without telling anyone at home, she applied for it and came back after completing the interview. The principal, who was impressed by her demo class, had already sent her an appointment order. She showed it to everyone and explained the matter. "Why do you want this guy's job? Your monthly makeup and saris cost 4 times more than the salary that they pay you." "No, I have to stand on my own feet like this." "Then I won't pay you any extra expenses anymore. You can handle everything from the salary you get." These words did not bother her at all. After the first miscarriage, she could not have another child even if she wanted to. It was not a big problem in that house. She had chosen this path for the company of children. She had voluntarily pledged her freedom to her in-laws. If she had stood up with self-respect in the beginning, this would have not happened today. Now her decision was firm. She said she would definitely do it. How long could she remain a prisoner like a bird in a golden cage with its wings clipped? She assured everyone that she too had a mind, self-respect, and would act as her conscience dictated. I cannot live this artificial life anymore. You will not be bothered by me. I will take care of my expenses with the salary I receive. Instead of this artificial life, I will live the ideal life I had before. If my going to school in this house is a disgrace to your reputation, I will go to another hostel today. If necessary, you can get married again. Everyone was shocked when she said that. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.